The village elders stood in a circle around her, chanting words that would seal her fate forever. Amara's hair, glowing like moonlight on water, was the reason they wanted her dead. This is the story of a girl born with a curse that everyone feared. Before I continue, let me know where you are watching from. Comment that and I will reply you. A curse hidden in strands of silver hair that appeared the night her mother screamed her last breath. And in 7 days, that same curse would either destroy an entire kingdom or save it from something far worse. But first, she had to survive tonight. Amara's hair wasn't always silver. It was black once. Normal. Like every other child in the village of Kazumi. But on her 10th birthday, everything changed. The morning sun rose as it always did. The compound was alive with preparation for her celebration. Her grandmother was roasting yams. Her cousins braided palm fronds for decorations. Then Amara looked into the water basin and screamed. Her hair had turned completely silver. Every strand shimmering like spider silk under the moon. Her grandmother dropped the clay pot she was holding. It shattered into 1,000 pieces, just like their lives were about to. Because in Kazumi, silver hair meant only one thing: the return of the river witch's bloodline. Get away from her. Her grandmother's voice was sharp, terrified. Amara reached for her, confused, tears streaming down her face. But her grandmother stepped back. Don't touch me, child. Don't come closer. Within an hour, the entire village knew. Whispers spread like wildfire through the compounds. Mothers pulled their children indoors. Men gathered in the meeting square, their faces dark with anger and fear. The chief elder, Baba Okon, arrived at her home flanked by 6 warriors. He didn't need to say anything. His eyes said it all. Amara's grandmother fell to her knees. Please, Baba Okon. She's just a child. She's done nothing wrong. The silver hair has appeared, he said, his voice cold as stone. The prophecy has begun. We cannot allow history to repeat itself. What prophecy? Amara whispered. No one answered her. But she would soon learn that 70 years ago, another girl with silver hair had lived in Kazumi. And before she died, she drowned half the village in a flood that came from nowhere. The river had swallowed homes, livestock, and over 200 souls in a single night. Now, they believed Amara would finish what that witch had started. They locked her in the shrine house, a small mud hut at the edge of the village, surrounded by talismans and painted symbols meant to contain evil spirits. Amara sat in the darkness, her silver hair glowing faintly even without light. She could hear them outside, arguing, shouting, deciding her fate. We burn her at dawn. No, throw her into the river. Let the water spirits judge her. The oracle must speak first. Her grandmother's voice rose above the others, desperate and breaking. She is my blood. My only grandchild. You will not. A slap. Silence. Amara pressed her hands over her ears and wept. But as her tears fell onto the dirt floor, something impossible happened. Where each tear landed, tiny white flowers began to bloom. Flowers that shouldn't exist. Flowers that only grew, according to legend, in the garden of the river goddess herself. Amara stared at them, her heart pounding. What was happening to her? The oracle arrived at midnight. She was ancient. Skin like cracked earth. Eyes white with blindness, yet she saw everything. The villagers parted for her as she moved through the crowd, her staff tapping against the ground in rhythm with her slow steps. She stopped in front of the shrine house. "Open it," she commanded. The warriors hesitated, but Baba Okon nodded. The door creaked open. The oracle stepped inside and gasped. The entire floor was covered in white flowers. And in the center sat Amara, her silver hair cascading around her like a waterfall of starlight. The oracle knelt. Actually knelt. "Forgive us, child," she whispered. "We have been blind." The villagers outside murmured in confusion. "What is this?" Baba Okon demanded. "Is she cursed or not?" The oracle rose slowly, turning to face him. "She is not cursed, you fool." Her voice was sharp as a blade. "She is chosen." The crowd erupted. "Chosen for what? By who?" The oracle raised her staff, and silence fell like a hammer. I know you are enjoying this. Remember to subscribe, like and comment where you are watching from. 70 years ago, we made a grave mistake. The girl with silver hair was not a witch. She was a guardian, sent by the river goddess to warn us of the great serpent stirring beneath the waters. We did not listen. We killed her before she could complete her task. And so the serpent woke, and punished us with the flood. She turned back to Amara. Now the serpent stirs again. And the goddess has sent another guardian. She has sent this child. Amara's hands trembled. I don't understand. What am I supposed to do?" The oracle approached her, placing a withered hand on her silver hair. "Your hair is not a curse, child. It is a gift. A connection to the river, to the goddess, to the ancient power that flows beneath our land. In 7 days, the great serpent will rise. It will bring a flood that will not stop at this village. It will consume the entire kingdom. Unless you stop it." "How?" Amara's voice cracked. "I'm just a girl. I don't have power. I don't know anything about serpents or goddesses or—" Your tears grew flowers in darkness. The oracle's blind eyes seemed to pierce straight through her. "You have more power than you know. But you must learn to use it. And you must do it quickly." Baba Okon stepped forward, his face pale. "What must she do?" "She must journey to the river temple. The one forbidden to our people for 3 generations. There, she will undergo the trials of the goddess. 3 trials, each more dangerous than the last. If she succeeds, she will gain the power to face the serpent. If she fails—" The oracle didn't finish. She didn't need to. Amara felt the weight of every eye on her. These people had wanted her dead hours ago. Now they needed her to save them. Her grandmother pushed through the crowd, tears streaming down her weathered face. "You don't have to do this, child. We can run. We can leave this place. Let them face their own doom." Amara looked at her grandmother, then at the frightened faces around her. Children clinging to their mothers. Old men trying to appear brave. Young warriors with fear in their eyes. She thought of the girl before her. The one they had killed. The one who had tried to save them and died for it. And she made her choice. "I'll go." They prepared her at dawn. The oracle gave her a small pouch of sacred herbs. Her grandmother wept as she braided protective charms into her silver hair. "The river is 3 days' walk to the east," the oracle explained. "You must not stray from the path. You must not speak to anyone you meet along the way. And you must arrive before the moon is full." "Or what?" Amara asked. "Or the temple will close. And the serpent will be unstoppable." Amara swallowed hard. What will I face in the trials? The oracle's expression darkened. I do not know, child. Every guardian faces different tests. The goddess looks into your heart and shows you what you fear most. Overcome your fears, and you will be reborn. Fail, and you will be consumed. As the sun crested the horizon, Amara stood at the village gate. A small crowd had gathered to see her off. Most still looked afraid of her. But some had tears in their eyes. One little girl, no more than 6, ran forward and pressed a small wooden carving into Amara's hand. Come back, she whispered. Amara clutched the carving, a tiny bird, and nodded. She took her first step beyond the village. Into the unknown. Toward a destiny she never asked for. The forest was darker than she expected. Thicker. The trees seemed to lean inward, as if watching her. Amara kept walking, her silver hair catching on low branches, her feet aching in her worn sandals. By midday, she heard the first whisper. Turn back. She froze. The voice was soft. Female. Coming from everywhere and nowhere. Turn back, child, you are not ready. Amara remembered the oracle's warning. Do not speak to anyone you meet. She clenched her jaw and kept walking. But the whispers grew louder. They will kill you anyway. They do not love you. You are walking to your death. Her heart pounded. Her breath came faster. And then she saw it. Standing in the middle of the path. A figure. Wearing her face. Same eyes. Same mouth. Same silver hair. But this version of her was smiling. A cruel, knowing smile. Hello, Amara, it said in her voice. I've been waiting for you. Amara's blood ran cold. The figure stepped closer. You think you're special. You think you're chosen. It laughed, a sound like breaking glass. You're just a scared little girl. And in 3 days, you'll prove it. The first trial isn't at the temple, fool. The thing wearing her face grinned wider. It's right here. Right now. With me. The forest around them began to darken. The trees twisted. The ground beneath Amara's feet started to crack. And from the cracks, black water began to seep. Rising. Flooding. Just like the prophecy warned. Amara tried to run. But the water grabbed her ankles like hands. The last thing she saw before the darkness swallowed her whole was her own face, grinning down at her. Laughing. What is this creature? Will Amara survive the first trial? And what dark secret about her silver hair is still hidden? Find out in the next episode of African Tales King. The journey to the river temple has only just begun.